Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Biz Info Zone show. I'm your host, Lynn Hawkins, and I'm so excited that you're here with us today. Today's show is going to blow you away because I've got a special guest, Miss Trish Samson, and you'll hear all about that. But welcome to the Biz Info Zone show. Hi there.
Hi.
Let me just go through introducing our guest, and I want to make sure that our audience knows that we will be broadcasting weekly on Thursdays at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And just come on into the zone, get into where we give business information for the savvy entrepreneur who wants to really show their purpose and work their plan, build their plan, and it's a plan towards prosperity in your business and your life. So today I am so happy to have brought to you someone who's going to talk to us about building a coastal lifestyle business. And you know what's significant about building a coastal lifestyle business? Well, it's one thing, and she's going to tell us that. So before we get started, I want to give you a little bit of information about who our guest is today, and that is Trish Samson. Trish is, and yes, I'm reading this, founder of My Coastal Muse. She's a seasonal graphic designer living in coastal Rhode Island. She's a 1984 graduate of the prestigious Rhode Island School of Design, and she's worked for many years as a graphic designer before doing her graduate studies in Internet Strategy Management. After 10 years of managing a coastal lifestyle website, she developed a passion to pursue her own coastal dream, spending a day doing creative work. And I mean, Miss Lady talks about gardening and recipes, and of course, when you're living on the coast, these are all things that are conducive to the coastal environment. Spending each day doing creative work, she's offering memberships to fund the tools that are needed to continue her work and strive to bring you more information about sustainable living. Members of My Coastal Muse follow Trish's journeys and the journeys of her coastal musing friends as they build a community working towards supporting each other and designing that optimal coastal lifestyle. So help me welcome our guest today, Trish Samson. Hi, Trish.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Now you just got a little bit darker over there for me. I understand that it's raining outdoors up there.
Well, I moved back, so maybe the light will hit me better.
Okay. All right, yeah, because you're very dark over there. I don't know if our audience can see you. But anyway.
I don't have any more lights.
Let's just jump in. There's a beautiful picture of you up on the website. And our friends can view that at skyhawkenterprises.biz/bizinfozone shows. And they'll see that beautiful picture, and they'll also see later on this link will be posted there as well. Now, I've got some amazing questions for you because I'm just getting back into the cooking phase of my life. This is totally new. But I've talked to you about some of the things that I really like, and I really like about the work that you do, the things that you're introducing to your community. And, you know, we started this off by saying that what's significant about a coastal lifestyle business is one thing. What is that one thing?
That is significant about coastal lifestyle businesses?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a very gentle business.
Well, you know, in real estate, and my background's in commercial real estate, the whole thing about real estate is location, location, location. And for the most part, that is for a brick and mortar business.
Yeah, that's true.
talking about an online coastal lifestyle business. What's the thought there? What's that big thing there that you have to have?
Well, as with a brick and mortar store, location is very important. If you were on Nantucket, for example, you would experience the coast, the salt smells, the cobblestone streets, and all the artisans doing their coastal arts and crafts and paintings. If you went there and you went into a store and everything was southwestern and cowboy, it probably wouldn't fit in with the magic. And so I think the same thing applies to an internet business. If it's a coastal lifestyle, I don't have the opportunity to provide the salt air or have the smells of the restaurant food, but I can use photographs and colors and imagery and writing that and music even that can portray the location to the people.
And that's really significant when you think about it. With the brick and mortar business being location, 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 and you just told me that for the online business, it's more think location, and you can think of it, enhance that thinking with photographs and the images and the words that you use, and that's really amazing. And again, it takes me back to the real estate thing, but how do you identify your target market for getting seen as a coastal lifestyle business, an online business?
Well, because I've worked in it for 10 years, I know who they are. If I were to say that I wanted to go out from ground square zero and did not know, I would have to study perhaps the demographics of whatever magazines, for example, I thought reflected a coastal lifestyle. I think that Coastal Living, for example, if you took one of their media kits and looked at their demographics, I think you'd quickly begin to understand who your customer is. Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm multitasking because I really want to highlight what you talked about as far as the think location. And when you're thinking location, and you mentioned it, you're thinking about who is your target audience.
Yes.
What your demographics are. And that is the same for an online business as it is for an offline business.
That is true. Very similar.
As chief curator and the savvy entrepreneur that you are, how did you identify that this was really where your passion and purpose was? You're the artist, but how did you get to the coastal living?
When I fresh out of grad school, I took a job as a webmaster for a coastal living company based on Nantucket, and came to know the business and the industry very well. Of course, I've always lived on the coast. I'm a coastal girl, so I live in Rhode Island, and with my work every day, I just love the coast, and I love the passion that I have for the work, and I knew that I wanted it to be something other than product-based. And how I really found out about it, or how I really came to know what it is I wanted to do, a lovely lady, Gina Gaudio-Graves, interviewed me, or on a hug seat, it's what she calls a hug seat, asked me to describe my ideal day. If I were to start a business and say we're 5 years into it and I'm successful, what exactly would that dream day be? And I had written it all out in advance, and I read it, and it was just lovely. It just told me that I do want a different kind of lifestyle. I like living in the suburbs. I like living, near the coast, and I'm not sure I want to be on a farm in the middle of nowhere, but I like learning how to turn my residence, my home, my landscape into a sustainable landscape where I have all of the aesthetics that the neighbors, certainly want to see, but at the same time I have a sustainable lifestyle. And I'm on a journey there. I'm not there yet. I am in the process of bringing my lifestyle to where I want it to be. And so day by day I'm working on things, and it's pretty innocuous at this point. But I think that by the time the goats and the chickens get here, I might meet with a little resistance. Let's fight one battle at a time.
That's too funny. I love it though, and that's what it takes. It reminds me of, I was talking to somebody just the other day and was reminded that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And you've taken more than just the first step, because you are building this coastal lifestyle online business. Now, you also mentioned to me that you had 3 success tips that you wanted to share with our audience. And I'm curious, you told us a little about how you got started in your business. I know that you're the total artist. You do beautiful graphics work, and you brought that into your business. Tell me a little more about what those key steps are. What's the first one?
To dream.
To
dream. Gina made me dream. And when I was finished with that dream, I knew exactly what I wanted. It's like going on a vacation. If you know, well, I'm going to go on vacation. I think I might try to go to Milwaukee, and you pack the car and get in it, but you don't have a map and you're not really sure where you're going. You just would never do that, So the first thing is, I think, to decide that, okay, this is my dream, this is where I want to go, and it's not just Milwaukee. I want to go to this particular place in Milwaukee because this particular place has X, Y, and Z, and I visualize this and that, and begin to really understand where it is you want to go. I talked to, and I hope I'm not getting off point, I know I am, but it's important. I talked to a man from India one day, and he was telling me how regretful he was that his birthday is coming, and he's 22 years old, and he feels like he's done nothing with his life.
Oh my gosh.
But my goodness, what a baby to feel that way. He's 22, really? So I asked him, well, what is it that you want to do that you feel like you haven't done? There was a pregnant pause. He couldn't answer me. And then I told him the story, about, well, if you don't know where you're going, how are you ever going to get there? And the man was totally blown away. He said, I never looked at it that way. Which seems like so obvious to all of us once someone points it out to us, myself included, And so I think if you want to be successful, you have to really first know where you want to go. What do you want? And for so many reasons, that's important. Just to put the intention out there into the universe is important.
I agree. You said it. Dream. You first have to have a dream, and then you have a destination to get to.
Yes.
And it becomes about the journey. And I really love that because, and I want you to tell us a little bit more about this story, this dream that you mentioned that Gina brought out of you. I think that's key in setting the stage, giving an example, a live example of what that could feel like for someone.
Okay, well, I don't have the text in front of me to read it, But I started the story about it being a sunny morning at 60 degrees. There's a promise of 80. The water in the pool is reflecting the light, and I'm drinking my coffee. In the distance, my sloop awaits. It's time for me to go and check my lobster traps. And I kind of holler out there, be patient, little girls, I'll be there soon. And I paint this picture of silence, and then suddenly the silence breaks because the cow moves. And I won't do it on camera, but I do a good cow imitation. And I look over, and I see Zach pulling his britches up and staggering towards the barn because it's his day to milk Bessie, you see. And he's out. He's hungover again. He went out to town, and I'm like, oh no. He's the caretaker that lives in the cottage, you see. And so, with that said, I went out in the water and came back to cook lunch, and we've explained how we, cook everything and freeze it, and all of our extra food, we bring that all on board, and do it ourselves. And eventually then it's time for me to start my work, which is sewing of bling on shirts. And then I find my bling, my best bling and my most expensive shirts have their genesis in the Salvation Army store. I swear you all to secrecy. I don't want anybody to know my bling comes from the rag bag. And then I finish doing that and decide that, well, it is time to work on that cookbook that's been 4 years in the making. So I go in and I get what I need, and I set the whole stage around the pool for the food and the photography with the antiques and with the whole tablescape all described. And I think I was preparing Black Forest pork and end up with asking people, would you care to join me? And if I were to have a perfect day, that would be it. That would be it. And so I photographed the food, and so I've incorporated work that I love, work that's my passion, together with a lifestyle that's my passion. And that was my dream day. Now, understand, I'm not there yet. I'm working, and I'm walking the walk. And I'm very candid with the times that I'm walking the walk and I suddenly stub my toe. But I'm walking the walk, and I'm open and honest enough for people to walk with me. And because we're all going to walk together on this.
Yes, yes. And that's the part that I so loved about your story, was at the end, the invitation to join you for dinner and wine, and that there was all of this great food that you prepared that either came out of the garden or came out of the bay, and that was very appealing to me, and that was a dream that I could participate in as well.
Come on down.
I love that about your first key, and that goes true for any business.
Oh, you have to understand, though, that when I go to the market to get the pork, I have to tiptoe past the barn because Bessie thinks I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, that's too cute. Too cute. But I don't want to get too far off point. I'm trying to watch the clock too. And I want to be mindful of people staying with us for the entire hour. And I want to give them an opportunity to, chime in on the Google Plus page to ask any questions that they might have, like, how do I get a recipe out of that recipe book you've been doing? But so tell us what the second key is for building a successful online lifestyle business.
Well, I think now that you know what you want and where you want to go, I think the next step is to figure out, how are you going to get there? What do I need in order to make that happen? If I want XYZ in 5 years, what has to be done by year 4 in order to make that happen, and year 3, and year 2, and year 1? And I think that becomes your plan. and it's not necessarily something that has to stay static, because things change along the way.
Yes,
And sometimes you have to move the goals, because sometimes you didn't move quite as fast as you thought you were going to. But I would say that that's probably the first, the second step.
Okay, I like that. That roadmap is it, and adjusting course as necessary. That's very key. And, you know, I often use the example of the rocket ship launching to the moon. Course corrects 97% of the time, so that it knows that it can make the destination.
Yeah.
And that is so great. So, you know, give us an idea too about how it is that you stay on top of that plan and that course correction. What tools do you have in place?
I have good friends that kick me in the fanny when I need it. Because Lord knows, you know. I think that some of the tools that I use are really, I rely on my communities, my friends, my coaching programs, yours, Gina Gaudio Graves, and our lovely, lovely Andrea Wolf. And a light just went out and came back on again.
Yeah, what that?
Oh, there it is. I see it. It's strange. Okay. And so I think that you need support and you need coaching along the way. And with the people who are members of my community, we help each other. And I don't know everything about everything. I'm not an expert on everything. And so I bring experts in to talk and do webinars or seminars or just videos of how, or articles of how to do certain things and how to be successful with certain things. So together with my support team, my members and their support, and the experts that I bring in, this is what keeps me on track. And I can sometimes make things much more difficult than they need to be. But I usually, with the help of my support network, find my way out of that trap.
I hear that's an affliction of brilliant people. They know how to make things a little more complicated than they need to.
So it's said, and I'll take that.
Yes, yes. I know for a fact that you live in that brilliant zone. And it takes a community to help those of us who consider ourselves, or who are even aspiring to be a little more brilliant, to help a little more people with their businesses and building their lives. And sometimes it's easy to complicate things. And you need those communities and the ability to get that kind of feedback so that you can continue the course correction and make it as tight as it needs to be to get you up to the moon. So thank you for that. That was great. Now, here's the hard question.
Uh-oh. Okay.
You said that there are 3 keys and key strategies. What's the third one?
Well, I think I touched on it a little bit when I talked about the support network and the communities. When you asked me how I stick to this, how I do it, I think that's a really big key. Am I going ahead of myself when I talk about relationships on the internet versus relationships in real life?
No, go ahead.
All right.
Your show. This is our show. Go for it.
All right. I think that with relationships on the internet, I mean, the internet has changed our world. We all know that it has. And the naysayers have their view about it, but I have mine, and I think it's a wonderful thing. I have met the most wonderful people on internet communities, made dear, dear friends. My friendships are so much more diverse. I have friends from all over the world, and I think used the way I intend for it to be used, I think it enhances your life, enhances your world, and I also think the internet, and I hate to use a cliche, and I know I wrote something different in my notes, but I'll use the cliche. It has leveled the playing field, because there was a time when only the Alan Feinsteins of the world could make a difference. Only the Bill Gates could donate to something to make a difference somewhere else in the world. And the internet has changed that for us. All of us, with whatever we are doing in our lives, can make a difference in other people's lives, and maybe even the world. So, to me, I think staying close to your communities is probably the third biggest asset you have. And I notice that when I get a little busy and I don't stay as close, I lose the mindset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The mindset, I start to get less, the mindset starts to slip away a little bit. Because, you know, you have to have the mindset. You have to see it, you have to know it, you have to believe it, you have to live it, you have to know it's coming almost as though it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I totally
need your friends. Need them. Very important.
You do. You do. And I love what you were saying about having your business to help you to do bigger and better things in the world. And I mean, that's a key element as well, because we know that when our energy ends up being focused on something that's bigger than ourselves, that helps more than the people that we could typically reach, that more comes back to us. You know, you are the source of the energy that you attract to you, and when you're thinking about others and thinking about service to others.
I agree, 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, providing yourself with a bigger opportunity. So what are you and your business actually focused on that's outside of, or that enhances what it is that you do? Are you focusing on anything in particular?
Yes, actually there is. In my membership, of course, every member has access to every segment of my site. So, in one segment is family, and I believe that we need to do something to help the family.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are too many children out there, young people who know more about the Kardashian sisters than they do about our founding fathers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what cursive writing is, let alone calligraphy or arts or travel. And I think that it's, for me and my grandbaby, it's my responsibility to make sure that I expose her to that. And also, she's now working on pink drawings that will have their own place on the site. They'll get posted. Anyone who has a child or a grandchild who wants to post a pink drawing can do so for $1, which goes to breast cancer. And
That's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful? And at the end of the year, we'll print a book. There'll be no pictures of children published, but you know they can have their name, whatever they want. You know, so some people are more concerned about privacy than others, and they can buy it for $20 and have that as a memory. And the proceeds of that go to cancer research. And for me, that does a couple of things. Naturally, it helps the cancer research, but it makes my granddaughter and the children who are participating in it become aware of helping others. It brings a philanthropic piece to their lives. And if I impress this on my granddaughter, I've done my job.
Yeah.
If I impress it on 100 other people's grandchildren, if I help 100 other grandmothers impress it, I've done a fantastic job. And what if I impress 100, 500,000?
Yeah.
All the better.
Yeah.
But that is, I think, the answer to your question. I have my counterpart grandparents on the other side. Their job is to spoil the child. They've said this. And I can't understand. I wouldn't spoil my car, my desk, my glasses, my pen. Why would I spoil my grandchild. My job is to teach, to give wisdom. And I just, that's just what I live by. And I really hope that, well, I know that all the people in my community feel this way. And we're all doing it. We're all doing it. And the bigger the community gets, the more people who will realize, say, hey, yeah, we got to do this. So.
Yeah, that's the co-creation and the collaboration and the, just bringing out so many innovative things that support community, promote community, and bring up better children. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, because they are our future.
They are.
I didn't make that up.
The Muse has spoken.
I like that.
So, I would be remiss if I didn't also kind of ask you about the project that we're working on together.
Yes.
And to ask you about what prompted you to be a part of this project that we're doing together. Tell us a little bit about the project and what prompted you to be a part of that project.
Okay. The Permission to Be Powerful book is a co-authored book, and I am grateful to have been invited to be one of the co-authors. And the book is written by women who have found a way to stand in their power and overcome whatever they needed to overcome to become powerful and be in their lives what it is they want to be. And I think each of the authors does that in an eloquent way. For me, and there are so many women who really need help. I mean, they really just have been, some women have had such horrific experiences in their lives, young lives. For me, I'm grateful. I never had that kind of thing. But at 18 years old, I was an unwed mother. And I'll tell you, nobody at that point in history was a proponent of keeping a child. But I stepped into my power. I did not know that's what you called it back then.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes is one look in my little grandbaby's eyes to know I made the right choice.
Uh-huh.
And so from starting out not knowing whether to do my gum or wind my watch at 18 years old, graduating from 2 Ivy League colleges with a master's degree and earning a good income and being in my own business, I hope that that's going to inspire other young women in that situation to say, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to be on welfare. I don't have to let some guy beat me up so I can, feed my kid,
Mm-hmm.
I want to present my story to as many of those young women in that situation as I possibly can. So
that's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. And thank you for your contribution, for your wanting to contribute. Because I realize, too, that there are a lot of us who have lived and overcome and really walk in our power now only to become more as time goes on, and that it takes courage to stand in a place now and say, this is what my life was, and this is what I did to move to a place of power.
And it takes love to reach your hand out and say, come with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do.
That's beautiful. Well, and thank you for sharing that. That wasn't planned. It wasn't part of what we were going to do, but
it wasn't. Nobody told me. You made me cry. Silly girl.
The Muse in me wanted to bring out the Muse in you, so thank you for that. So Trish, tell us, about this recipe book and just seeing some of the things that you've got going on in your community. How can people reach you?
Well, my site is www.coastalmuse.com. And the cookbook is in the works. I am always looking for people who want to test recipes for me. And if you'd like to join up for the recipe test, email me, samsontrish@gmail.com, and I will send the recipe to you to try. Just give me a sense of what you like to cook. You know, I certainly wouldn't give David Venable any Brussels sprouts to cook since he hates them. Yeah, so what you like to cook and what kind of food you like to eat, and try to match you up with your recipe. My membership is technically functioning, and within the next couple of weeks you'll be able to sign on as a charter member. We'll be starting charter memberships, which will be very, very, very inexpensive to start with, to get our core group together. And I'm just interviewing such wonderful women, experts in so many fields, that I think there's going to be a lot of really inspirational content.
Beautiful, beautiful. I want to let our audience know, too, that we will be posting Trish's contact information, her web address, and everything in the Google Hangouts comments, as well as on the BIZ Info Zone page. And if you come back to this page, this Hangout page later, the YouTube video will be up for you to review. And this has just been so amazing to be here with you today, Trish.
Thank you. Thank you. This is my first Google Hangout interview, so.
Oh, cool. We'll have to do more. That's great.
It was painless.
You know, I want to say I told you so.
Yes, you would.
Oh, gosh. So, having said that, I wrote down the first key. So I just want to recap real quick. So there's 3 keys to success for online coastal lifestyle businesses that Trish shared with us. The first is dream. The second is, and I don't have my card, so just imagine my card is here. Have your roadmap. And then the third one was community, making sure that you're part of a community. And of course, the My Coastal Muse community is the perfect place. Mm-hmm. Whether you're a coastal business or you just love visiting the coasts. Now, that would be me. I grew up in Maryland, in Baltimore, in the Chesapeake Bay, and crabs were amazing for me to grow up with crabs. But I love lobsters, and Rhode Island is the perfect lobster place. And so I plan on being there to share some of those wonderful recipes with you. I will be a taster.
Okay. Oh, she'll be the taster.
Yes, yes. But before we end our call, I always like to ask our guests if there was one thing that you could share with our audience that you want our audience to really remember and take with them about Trish Samson, the Muse, and My Coastal Muse, and coastal lifestyle businesses, what would that be? Please share.
One thing I want you to take away, I don't think it would be any of the information or data. I think that I would hope that you met me here and that you think you found a friend, because I do that very well.
Oh, that is just beautiful. I love that. Meet Trish there. And, you know, if you go to Trish's website, you will find on her About page the story that she was sharing with us. And I absolutely did take that as an invitation to come and join her for dinner. And what I just heard was she's extended that invitation live and in real time to you. And I'd say take her up on it.
And, always happy to do that. We might need to plan. If there's about 7,000 of you, we might need a plan.
You know, call me and I'll help you out with that one.
All right.
Okay, well, we're going to close out our show today. My name is V. Lynn Hawkins, and I want to say thank you for joining us today in the Biz Info Zone. This is the zone where you will find the business information that can help you to grow your business, express your passion, plan more of those things that you need to plan in order to realize the life of abundance and prosperity that's ahead of you. Thank you once again for joining us, Trish.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful rest of the week. We'll be here next week, same time, same channel, and we look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.